The world was once a beautiful place. It was filled with lush forests, sparkling rivers, and animals of all shapes and sizes, but something had changed. People had forgotten how to be kind. They were selfish and mean. The world began to feel heavy, like a heart filled with sadness. The beautiful colors of the earth seemed to fade. Laughter was replaced with anger. The world was losing its joy. Something had to change. Up in heaven, God looked down and felt sorrow. He loved the world and its people, but their wickedness brought him pain. He decided to send a great flood to wash away the wickedness and give humanity a fresh start. But amidst the darkness, God saw a light, a man named Noah. He was a good man, a beacon of hope in a world shrouded in shadows. Noah was a good man. He loved God and followed his ways. In a world filled with anger, Noah chose kindness. In a world filled with selfishness, Noah chose love. God saw Noah's goodness and decided to give humanity another chance. He spoke to Noah and told him about the flood. He gave Noah a very important task, to build a giant ark, a safe haven from the coming storm. Noah listened carefully. He knew this was a huge responsibility, but he trusted God. He gathered his family and told them about God's plan. Together they would face the unknown, their hearts filled with faith and a glimmer of hope for a brighter future. Building the ark was no easy feat. It was a massive ship, taller than the tallest trees and longer than any creature on earth. People stopped and stared, their faces filled with doubt and mockery. A flood? They scoffed. Impossible. But Noah never lost faith. He knew in his heart that God would keep his promise. He continued to work tirelessly day and night, hammering and sawing, guided by God's hand. Animals from all corners of the earth, sensing the impending danger, miraculously found their way to the ark. Lions and lambs, eagles and doves, creatures big and small, all marched 2 by 2 towards the towering ark. The ark was becoming a symbol of hope, a sanctuary from the storm that was about to be unleashed upon the world. Section 4. 40 days and 40 nights. And then it came. The rain began, not a gentle drizzle, but a torrential downpour. The sky turned into a cascade of water and the earth began to flood. The wicked people who had mocked Noah trembled in fear, but it was too late. Inside the ark, Noah, his family, and all the animals were safe and dry. They could hear the roar of the storm outside, but within the ark's wooden walls there was a sense of peace. For 40 days and 40 nights the rain continued. The world outside was transformed into a vast, raging ocean. But inside the ark, life went on. Noah and his family prayed, sang songs, and cared for the animals. They knew that God was with them, even in the midst of the storm. Section 5. A New Dawn. Finally, the rain stopped, the clouds parted, and a sliver of sunlight broke through the darkness. The storm had passed. Noah sent out a dove to search for dry land. The dove returned with an olive branch in its beak, a symbol of hope and new beginnings. Slowly, the floodwaters receded. The ark came to rest on the top of Mount Ararat. Noah opened the ark's doors, and for the first time in months, fresh air and sunlight filled the vessel. The world outside was washed clean. The wickedness was gone. Noah, his family, and all the animals stepped out onto the damp earth. They were greeted by a world reborn, a world shimmering with promise. Section 6. A Promise in the Sky. As Noah gazed upon the world, a sight of breathtaking beauty filled the sky. A rainbow, a magnificent arch of colors painted across the heavens. It was a symbol of God's promise. Never again would he flood the entire earth. The rainbow was a reminder of God's love, his mercy, and his promise of hope. And so Noah and his family began to rebuild their lives. They planted crops, built homes, and filled the earth with their children. The world was given a second chance, a fresh start, and it all began with a man named Noah, a man of faith and obedience who trusted in God's promise.